The AlyssaBurkett case, a tragic tale of obsession and deception. The scene of the crime. On the morning of October 2nd, 2020, in Carrollton, Texas, a horrifying act of violence unfolded. Alyssa Burkett, a 24-year-old mother and property manager at Green Tree Apartments, arrived at work unaware of the grim fate that awaited her. As she parked her car around 9 a.m., a man dressed in black emerged from a nearby vehicle and fired a shot through the driver's side window. Alyssa, gravely injured, managed to exit her car, leaving a bloodied handprint on the office door as she desperately sought help. But her attacker, relentless in his pursuit, followed her and viciously stabbed her 44 times with a hunting knife until she succumbed to her injuries. The investigation begins. Eyewitnesses describe the assailant as a tall man dressed in black with his face partially covered. Two witnesses claim the attacker appeared to be a black man, but the investigation would soon reveal a far more sinister reality. When Burkett's mother, Teresa Collard, arrived at the scene, she immediately gave detectives a name: Andrew Beard. Hours after the murder, police officers stopped Beard in his white Ford F-150 pickup truck, his fiancée Holly Elkins and baby Willow in tow. Officers seized his pickup truck, told him he could leave the scene, but he couldn't return home. Later that night, police searched Beard's home and found a GPS tracker, battery, and charging stations that matched the tracking device detectives discovered under Burkett's car earlier that day. Investigators also uncovered what they believed to be an unregistered gun silencer. The next day, detectives searched Beard's white F-150 pickup truck and found a backpack. Inside, they uncovered 2 bottles of dark brown makeup and a pair of men's hiking boots that had been cut into pieces and were soaking in bleach. Later that night, police located the black Ford SUV the assailant drove to the scene. It was found abandoned less than a mile away from Beard's house. When detectives searched the SUV, they found a fake Beard smeared with dark brown makeup. Beard was charged with murder and subsequently turned himself in on an arrest warrant. The following day, Beard's fiancée, Holly Elkins, voluntarily sat down with 2 detectives from the Carrollton Police Department, and she was adamant that Beard was home with her the morning Burkett was killed. Beard spent 2 weeks behind bars before he was released on bond. But because detectives found an unregistered silencer during a search of his home, the federal government stepped in and agreed to take the case. 8 days after he bonded out, Beard was rearrested and ultimately charged with cyberstalking using a dangerous weapon, resulting in death. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Andrew Beard pleaded guilty to cyberstalking and using a dangerous weapon, resulting in death, on July 15th, 2022. 1 month later, he spoke with the FBI as a part of his plea deal. It was at that point that he implicated Holly Elkins. He said, quote, "This is how you're going to do this. You're going to wear this dark makeup. That was her plan. That's how it's going to be done." The FBI then began the process of building a case against Holly Elkins. On May 24, 2023, Beard was sentenced to 43 years in prison. Investigators found internet searches and a Walgreens receipt that connected her to the crime. They also dug into text messages between Elkins and Beard. In a text sent to Beard 1 week before the murder, Elkins wrote, quote, "I hope you handle it. I'm not coming home to this BS." Close quote. Elkins was subsequently indicted on 3 charges: conspiracy to stalk, stalking using a dangerous weapon resulting in serious bodily injury, and death and brandishing a firearm in relation to a crime of violence. A prosecutor on the case stated that, quote, "Month after month, Holly Elkins and Andrew Beard relentlessly harassed Alyssa Ann Burkett. They called her despicable names. They filed false police reports. They placed illegal contraband in her vehicle. And when that all failed, they plotted a particularly painful and bloody death." Close quote. U.S. Attorney Leah Simonton. Holly Elkins opted for a jury trial, and they came back and handed down a verdict of 2 life sentences. A legacy of loss. The murder of Alyssa Burkett remains a sobering reminder of all the catastrophic consequences of unchecked obsession and domestic violence. Beard's callous attempts to mislead investigators by weaponizing racial stereotypes only added to the tragedy of the case. Alyssa's story serves as a call to action to better protect those caught in the crosshairs of abusive relationships and custody battles. While justice has been served, the life of one devoted mother and friend was cut tragically short. Alyssa's memory endures, a testament to the need for vigilance, accountability, and the unyielding pursuit of truth.